Son Christ. Shalom. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatham to all the brothers. Shalom. Yahweh Shema Thaba Hashem Yahushai to all the sisters. I am priest and officer Abadayah 1000, holding down the class until John Mahayaman gets here or until higher officer. Tonight is, of course, the Monday night scripture breakdown class. And we are in the feast of dedication, Hanukkah. So let's give that a hand. Son Christ, Son Christ, Son Christ. We had the class on Sunday. And now today we're in the second day of the feast. The Lord wants us to come back to our feast days, our high holy days, our the Passover, Purim, Feast of Dedication, Sabbath. He wants us to come serve him. He doesn't want us in our in the heathens' so-called holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Easter. They are traps for us. They separate us from our power, from the Most High God. We need to be on point in these last days of times if we want to make it on those chariots. We gotta stay the course. We have to build, put our brick in. We have to do what we need to do to make sure we don't fall. Quadadoc, can you give me the book of Exodus chapter 2? Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2, Baba Kashaw. Because the Lord is our, like, we are his people. He is our God. He does not love everybody. That doctrine comes from the Christian church. The Lord only loves the nation of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and native men, women, and children. He hates the oppressor. He hates Esau. He hates Adam. That's in Romans 9:13, I believe. He hates Esau but loves Jacob. Baba Kashaw, Quadadoc, you read Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2, Baba Kashaw.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God.
See, I am the Lord thy God. He is our God. It's not everybody's God. I am the Lord thy God. He's the only living power. The gods of the nations are idols. They can't move, can't eat, can't talk, can't walk, can't help nor hurt. They're vain. They're nothing. The Lord, the Most High God, he's a living God. He is the creator of heaven and earth. He kills, he wounds, he makes lives, he destroys, he do all these things. Go ahead.
Which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. That was our power. He brought us out of the land of Egypt with his wonders and plagues, and destroyed the Egyptians, our oppressors at that time, our slave masters at that time, our taskmasters at that time, with the Red Sea through Moses, of course. So, and so much, and it's such a big deal that we have the Passover. That it's a high holy day, one of the major high holy days that we have to honor for the Lord. And April 4th, 2026 is the next high holy day in what, Houston, right? What is that? Houston? Right. Read on, Baba Kashaw.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. Because we was in bondage in Egypt, just like we are here in America. Reason why we're in bondage here in America is because we went against our power. We went against the Most High God. We chose to break his law, statutes, and commandments. We chose to transgress, to sin, to commit iniquity, to be disobedient children, to be stiff-necked. We got to get that spirit out of us. We are We are meant to be the righteous nation on the earth. We are that vessel of honor. The oppressor is the vessel of dishonor. He is fulfilling his role to his entirety. He destroys. He unalives. He steals. All we gotta do is keep the law. You know, be strong. Be of good courage, just like Joshua. All we gotta do is yeah, keep the law, obey orders, and we'll make it out of this kingdom, hopefully, with the Lord's mercy. Go ahead, Partizan.
Verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Now we shouldn't upset. Like it was the Lord was the one that brought us out of Egypt. So why we have to stop upsetting Abba, our Father, with false gods? Like our Father is a jealous power. No other God. We can have no other God before the Most High God. He is the power that got us out of Egypt. He is the power that put us in captivity. He is the only power that can send the order to Christ to get us out of the captivity that we are in today. There's nothing else. What? Caesar Borgia? No. Allah, so-called Islam? No. We got to wait on Abba. But in the meantime, we got to build Christ's kingdom. We got to go fish. We got to save our brothers and sisters out of the world. Give them the opportunity that we have been given. We don't quite as Abu Shaw.
Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. No, we can't do that. Can't do that, Lord, and bow down. More importantly, we can't make no graven image and bow down to it and serve it. That's what it really means, to make a god out of it. Like what is like what the creature? What is the creature? We cannot serve our creation. What is we doing? We can't do that. What is how we creating something and then we serving it? We gotta serve what created us. And that's the Most High. Let's get Baba Kashaw, if I may. Exodus 15:3, Baba Kashaw. Exodus 15:3. Because in the last day of time, there's a lot of trouble. It's gonna be a lot of trouble, but we just gotta stay vigilant. Gotta stay on point. We have to have the mindset of warfare. We have mostly the warfare is spiritual. We just gotta fight our flesh. We gotta fight our flesh. Fight what's in our mind. That's trying to get us to go against the Most High God. Go ahead, Quarterzel.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
The Lord is a man of war. Most High is a man of war. About warfare. That's what we came out, but a host of our armies. We out of Egypt. We gotta be men of war. That's what we gotta do. That's why we have Hebrew Academy, and the Lord builds up His army, builds up His soldiers. Christ come back. He come back with 200 million angels. He's not come back by himself. He's come back with an army on his back to destroy Esau's kingdom. We don't want to be caught in the middle, so we got to make sure we obeying the Lord so we can be put up on those chariots. Drop down to verse 14, Baba Kashaw.
Verse 14. The people shall hear and be afraid.
The people shall hear and be afraid. That is the other nations. Go ahead.
Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestine.
Sorrow shall take hold of the inhabitants of Palestinian. So when we came out of Egypt, they heard what the Most High did to the Egyptians. And now, and we was going right in their direction. and they was terrible. And they was afraid. They was afraid because we gotta get into our homeland. They was afraid. They was like, oh snaps, they don't want no smoke with Abba. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed, the mighty men of Moab.
Right. Dukes of Edom. Edom is the oppressor, of course. They was amazed. They was amazed of how we get up about our captivity. They was amazed. Go ahead.
Okay. Trembling shall take hold upon them.
Trembling shall take hold upon them. Trembling. See, Israel is the greatest nation on the earth. Mostly because the Most High God chose us. The Most High God chose us to be His people. He chose us to be His people, and that gives us the right to rule the earth, rule the world, and the other nations are supposed to be under us. It's just that when we go against Abba, when we go against the Most High, He has to punish us to get us back on track, to get us back doing the right thing. But when we doing right, we obeying the Lord, no one can come against us. No nation, nothing they do, no witchcraft, nothing can stop us from ruling. Go ahead, Partizan. Drop that actually, and let's get Deuteronomy 6 and 4, Brother Shaw. Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Israel, Yasharala, blacks, Hispanics, and Native men, women, and children, gotta keep the law. Gotta keep the law, statutes, and commandments. It's in our best interest. Because when Christ is ruling, when Christ does rule, like we're going to have to keep the law in His kingdom anyway. So right now, while we're in captivity, we got to show the Most High God that we're going to be on His side when things are not going not easy sailing. So we can get a reward. We can get a reward for it. Let's get a reward for keeping the law, such commandments. Getting a crown. Getting a crown. Go ahead, Partizan.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God. The Lord, our God, is one Lord.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 4. Shemaya Shala Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Kad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. That's what we got to understand. Israel, Yasharala, the Lord our God is one Lord. It's one. There's no one else with Him. It's the Lord, Christ, man. Christ is over man, man is over the woman, the Most High is over Christ. Water, you can drop that. Let's get Mark chapter 12 and verse 29, Brother Kashaw. Yes, Mark chapter 12 and verse 29. See, our King, Yahweh Shamashiach, Jesus Christ, He did it. He walked the walk. He did it the best. He taught our people, kept the law, kept the statutes and commandments. He fought His flesh, fought it when He was in the wilderness, fought on many occasions after that, when everything seemed bleak. Christ is just fed the people, raised Lazarus from the dead, walked on water, did many miracles, stuff that we don't even know about. But we can be just like our King. He was born from man and woman, Joseph and Mary, just like any other man. We can do exactly what he did. And he said we can do more. So we just got to put the work in. Go ahead, Partizan.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 29.
Yes.
And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
We just read that in Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. That's the first of all the commandments. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
And we shall love the Lord thy God with all thy heart. And this is love, that we keep his commandments. So we gotta know what love is. Love is keeping the commandments. So obeying, being obedient. Go ahead, Partizan.
And with all thy mind.
And with all thy mind, right?
And with all thy strength.
And with all thy strength. We have to love the Most High God with all our heart, mind, and strength. We got to do it every fiber of our being. We got to do it in our totality. Go ahead.
This is the first commandment.
This is the first commandment. Right. Read on, Bubba Shaw.
Verse 31. The second is like namely this.
And this is the second one. The second one is like namely this. So after we love, so once we've done completing, love the Most High God with our heart, mind, and soul, heart, mind, and strength. Go ahead.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
We gotta love our neighbor, our brother, our fellow Israelite brother. It's ourselves. Got to do it. Got to keep the law towards one another. Keep the law towards Abba and keep the law towards one another. Now, let's get 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 22. Because the Lord wants us to be obedient. That's all he ever wanted. That's what he wanted from Adam. And Christ finally fulfilled the mission as Christ. But now is our turn. Christ laid down the foundation. Now it's up to us to build upon it and to keep it moving. Yes, 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 22. Right. So let's do it. Let's make it glorious for Christ, Most High. When you got it.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 22. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord.
And Samuel said, does the Lord have great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the Lord? He was asking a question. So, and no, the Lord wants obedience. Go ahead, read.
Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice.
See, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice. The Lord doesn't want to hear our excuses, doesn't want to hear our salakias, doesn't want to hear our sorries. He'd rather just us to be blameless, just to do what he says, and then reward us as in time. He doesn't want us to come with an offering. Go ahead.
And to hearken than the fat of rams.
And to hearken than the fat of rams. He wants us to listen to him. That's all it's been about. I want us to listen to him and him alone. No matter what's going on, no matter what the heathen is doing around about us, no matter what someone's trying to put in our ears, no, we gotta listen to Abba. Everything else is just the heathen. Everything that the heathen does, the other nations does, is a trap on to us. We're supposed to tell them what to do. They're not supposed to influence us. They're supposed to do what we tell them to do. Because we're supposed to be ruling the earth, ruling the world. So we can't let them influence us, and then we're not doing what Abba says. How we going to, Abba's not going to allow us to be in rulership. That's why the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, because we wasn't being righteous. Abba want the earth to be run righteously in earth as it is in heaven. He wants the earth to be done righteously. Let's get 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9 of the show. 1 Peter 2 and 9. The Lord wants us to be perfect in these last days of time. He wants us to be listening to his voice, obeying his words, keeping his laws, his commandments. And they're not grievous. That's the one thing. Laws and commandments are not grievous. The Lord gave us the spirit to be able to serve him. So we should be able to do it. We just got to fight. He gave us that. He gave us that spirit too, to fight as well. Be willing to fight. We got to fight, and fight. That's all we ever had to do, was fight our flesh. And once we fight our flesh, and then we can help our brothers and sisters fight their flesh as well. Shalom, Kwaniya, not pride. We can help our brothers and sisters fight their flesh as well. So when you got a Kwaniya, can you get a 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9? Yeah, and then we can keep the ball rolling. And as a nation, we'll tighten up, and the Lord send Yahushua Mashiach back, like deliver us out of this wicked society that we're in. You got it, Padizah.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
But ye are a chosen generation. Ye are a chosen generation. We are chosen. We are chosen. Lord chose us. He didn't choose. And we should be grateful, ecstatic. The Lord chose us. He didn't choose no one else. He chose us. Go ahead, what is that?
A royal priesthood.
We are a royal priesthood, a nation of kings and priests. We get to serve a living power, a living God. And we get to be in rulership as well when Christ returns. If we make it on those chariots, we get a shot at that. We are fighting for those slots right now. Go ahead.
Ramakan, and holy nation.
We're a holy nation, a separate nation. We're not the same as everybody else. We don't do the abominable things other nation does. Other nations are wicked. They wasn't given the laws of God. They don't know. They basically don't know right from wrong. They don't know how to live according to God. Go ahead.
Ramakan, a peculiar people.
We are a peculiar people. We're special. We're set apart. We're peculiar. We're special. We're special. We're a special treasure. And we're the salt. We're the salt of the earth. Go ahead, Barthah.
That ye should shew forth the praises of him.
That we should shew forth the praises of him. We should shew forth the praises of him. Go ahead.
Who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous
Who have called you
light.
out of darkness into his marvelous light. He called us out of darkness into his marvelous light. He called us out of darkness into his marvelous light, out of the world, so we can be in the truth in I.S.U.P.K. That's what we need to. That's what we need to understand. Let's get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. What we show. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. because we need because the Lord, we need to lift up our spirits. Understand that the Lord treasures us. He does. He treasures us. He loves us very, very much. He wants to give us everything. But we need to he wants to make sure we are obedient first. He wants to make sure that we're going to be obedient to him and not abandon him or disobey him when things are smooth sailing. Go ahead, part of that.
No, what kind?
Deuteronomy 7:6.
Okay, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. We are a holy people, a separate people unto the Lord thy God. No other nation can say that. No other nation can say that. Only the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, according to the Bible, according to God's words, the Lord loves us. We're a holy people, separate people. That is what we are.
How about Shem Yahweh Barakatah? All right. Let's get it on. Akim Aguatian out there. Gracias por sintonizarse con nosotros esta noche. Mi nombre es General Mahayaman. Estoy al servicio de el General YAHANNA. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres hombres, hispanos, negros o indios nativos, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido de Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa, pero su iglesia es culpable de todo lo que nos están pasando. Let's get it on. I'll do the announcements later. Let's rock it out, Akim. If you have any questions, I'll take them now. Tonight, you should absolutely get ready to speak about all of the terrorist attacks that happened this week out over Hanukkah weekend. I believe it was a mass shooting out in Buffalo, even more major mass shooting out in Australia. There was a shooting at Brown University. We'll go into that this week, all right? You want to be prepared to speak on these things when you go out to camp this week. Good to go. Any questions online? Please, I'm ready to rock.
This is from Sacramento Israelites. Shalom, Lord in Christ, Salaki General. Can I get a breakdown on Jonah, chapter 3, verse 5 through 7? Is the king and people Israelites?
Jonah 5 and 3 through 7 are the king and people Israelites.
Jonah chapter 3, verses 5 and 7.
Jonah, the 3rd chapter, the 5th verse. Let's hear it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the book of Jonah, chapter 3. Sorry. This is the book of Jonah, chapter 3, verses 5. Verse 5. So the people of Nineveh believed God and proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth, from the greatest of them even to the least of them.
And what was his question again?
His question is the king and people Israelites?
Got you. The story of Jonah happened before Israelites existed. So these are an Adamite people. This story predates Israel. There are a few stories like that in the Bible. This is one. So these people were the descendants of Adam, who at that time were the chosen people of God before the Most High solidified the children of God under Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So these were Adamites because this was before Israel was ever born. All right, you got it.
Yes, sir. This is from Eliza Bun Yahawada. Salakia, my Lord.
Please.
Can I get a general breakdown of who and what Lucifer is, sir?
All right. Lucifer is speaking about the so-called white man. The so-called white man, or better said on the internet, is our oppressor. El opresor es el diablo. Our oppressor is Lucifer, all right? The Bible speaks about him and calls him Lucifer, son of the morning, because he is always shining. If you didn't see that this week, you'll see it soon. Like he never, ever allows darkness to fall on his face, ever. He always is the most important person on the earth. His life is the only life that matters because he is Lucifer, son of the morning. All right, Lucifer is speaking about our oppressor. Everyone understands, all right? Good to go.
This Khan. Sir. Scroll down. Question. That's it for the questions so far, sir.
No sweat. All right, I'll get into a few precepts. If you need them, let me know when you have the questions, all right?
Yes, sir.
Babbity bang bang. Please. Good answer. I appreciate it. All right. Good one. I'm gonna skip down. Let's go to Ezekiel 16 and 36. All right, I'm gonna skip you at one verse. A second. One second. I got you. Ezekiel 33 and 16. So what you need to understand first is that this precept is a chastisement against the nation of Israel, all right? Speaking about their conduct and their lack of character and their lack of integrity among the other nations, all right? Let's go.
Khan. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33 and verse 16. None of his sins that he have committed shall be mentioned unto him.
I'm sorry, I might give you the wrong precept. Hold on. That doesn't sound like the one I'm reading. Ezekiel 16. My apologies. Ezekiel 16 and 20. What did I say? 30? Let's start at 28.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16 and verse 28. Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians.
That's the topic of this breakdown. You have played the whore with every country on the planet. In this particular case, the Assyrians. Why the Assyrians? Because the Assyrians were the number one superpower at one time. The Romans were the number one superpower at one time. The Greeks were the number one superpower. The Babylonians. And whenever a country is the chief country with all of the money and all of the supposed opportunities and the supposed freedom to exercise the pursuit of those opportunities, our people betray their God. We've done it 1,000 times. We did it in the Garden of Eden, and we do it today. You have played the whore. You're the one that plays the whore. You're the one that sells yourself to the person with the most money. Continue.
Because thou was unsatiable, yea, thou hast played the harlot with them.
You have played the harlot because you were insatiable. You know what that term means, Akim? Insatiable means you cannot be satisfied. To be satiated means to be satisfied. You're getting everything you want and you're getting fed and you are satiated. To be unsatiated, insatiable, means you cannot be satisfied. So many of you are going to go through a suicide this time of year. If you don't kill yourself, someone in your family is going to kill themselves this time of year. Why? Because of the pursuit of happiness that America pushes you on, Great Britain pushes you on, France pushes you into this pursuit of happiness, when truly happiness comes from hard work and contentment with what God gives you. To be content is where happiness lies. And the only way that you can be content is to work hard for it. but because all of you believe that you can be like white people, you can be like the other nations, that puts you on a path to run for happiness that you cannot achieve because of oppression put in front of every step that you make. So then here comes the holiday season. Here comes Christmas time, Feliz Navidad. And now during this time of happiness and Merry Christmas, now you look at your life and you go, I can't afford Christmas gifts. It's cold and sad and the snow's on the ground. And all of that makes you melancholy and sentimental about your childhood and about your past traumas. And you examine your life and you say, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with my life. I haven't achieved the American dream. And then you kill yourself because of a bad relationship you're in, because of some temporary sadness that you believe is permanent. Where does that come from? Because you have played the whore. You sold yourself to them. Even your happiness you sold to them. Your state of mind is sold to them. Read the precept again, that last part.
Yes, sir. Because thou was unsatiable.
Because you just can't be satisfied. You can't. There's never enough. Can you imagine committing suicide during Christmas time in America? And people who live in Iraq in a hole are not committing suicide. People over there in the Gaza Strip and Palestine are crawling out of rubble, crawling, begging for water, digging through rubble to find their children, racing them, running them sometimes, literally picking them up in their arms and running them to some hospital in Palestine. You're committing suicide in America. In America. Why? Because some slut left you? Because some slut who you had brats with won't see you? Come on now. You're just insatiable. You just can't have enough. Your kids are alive. You're dying of obesity, not starvation. So what in the hell does that tell you? You have no problems. You have no issues, not real problems, but you're never satisfied. Why aren't you satisfied? Because of lust. That lust makes you sell yourself. That lust to have more and get more and want the new car and the new house and to want to shine like the son of the morning, to want to be like him. You are insatiable, and never being satisfied makes you sell yourself to someone that you believe can satisfy you. Continue.
Yea, thou hast played the harlot with them.
Keep going.
And yet couldst not be satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 29. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea.
Oh my good. Not just with the Assyrians, but you multiplied your fornication in the land of Canaan. The Most High sent us to the land of Canaan to take that land back from the people who had occupied our land for so many years. We went among them and began to serve their gods and marry into their families and allow them to marry into ours. Why? Money and the lust of it. All of your preachers have fallen because of the lust of money. All of your politicians have fallen because of the lust of money. And now during the holiday season, you're going to commit suicide. You're going to kill yourself. So many of these mass shooters, they're going to give you some reason why people are shooting up some synagogue, why people are shooting up Brown University, why people are going to go into malls and kill people, right? And the Most High God absolutely curses this land during this time because of its rebellion against the laws of God in his high holy days. But in the mind of the murderer, he's depressed. They're depressed. That's what's in their mind. They look at someone else and they are absolutely depressed. And our oppressor is just a born killer. That's all he knows how to do. It's how he expresses every emotion. If he's happy, he's going to hurt someone. If he's sad, he's going to hurt someone. That's what happens. And so many people are going to commit mass shootings and acts of terrorism, and they're going to give you some political ideal, some reason on paper why they're doing this action. But they're doing the action for the same reason your uncle is going to kill himself or drink himself to death this time of year. Depression. Why? Because you cannot be satisfied. That's why. Continue.
Yes, sir. And yet thou wasn't and yet thou was not satisfied herewith.
Mhm.
Verse 30. How weak is thine heart?
Read that again.
How weak is thine heart?
During the so-called holiday season, we're going to find out how weak your heart is. You're going to leave the truth, start thinking about your mommy and your childhood. I don't get to see my kids, and I want to be with this woman and my ex. Oh, you bitches out there, you're going to go on Facebook and you're going to see your ex on Facebook, and you'll start longing for some man that you left because he was cheating on you. You'll start longing for him, even though you're married, even though you have a man. You're never satisfied. So then you'll start looking at your ex and going, oh, what could have been? What could have been? Nothing could have been. You were with the Assyrians and you weren't satisfied. Then you whored yourselves to the Canaanites and you were still not satisfied. Bitch, you could marry Prince Charming in a fairy tale novel and you will never be satisfied. It cannot happen because you don't understand the process of satisfaction. Contentment is what you should strive for, to be content. And you should, the Bible says, to be content with food and shelter. That's it. Can you imagine if everyone said, well, I got that, so there's no reason to kill myself? Then everything else would just be icing on the cake. Everything else, all of the brotherhood and kindness and everything you have above the bare minimum in life, you would be so happy and thankful for it. Something that you never feel, especially not during Christmas time. Thankful for it. Why? Because Christmas is not about being thankful. Christmas is about, did I get a gift? Did someone express they love me by pulling out a credit card? Did someone go to the store, go to the doorbuster sale and prove that they love me? You're never satisfied. No matter what you get, you'll never be satisfied. Continue.
Yes, sir. Saith the Lord God, seeing thou doest all these things and work of an imperious, whorish woman.
Seeing that you do all of these things, the work of an impudent, I believe you're saying, correct?
Imperious?
Imperious is like, a disgraceful woman, like impure. And what's the other word?
Whorish?
Whorish, you know what that word means. That's your action. That's how you behave, man. You behave like a whore. And Christmas is the time when you're really going to want to whore yourself because you're nostalgic and you have no heart. You have no goddamn courage at all. And now you'll see. You'll see because you'll get so depressed. And the Most High will weed you out of here, man, like a gardener goes into his garden and plucks out the weeds before they strangle the good fruit. Continue.
Verse 31. In that thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way.
And that thou buildest thy eminent place at the head of every way. La esquina. La esquina. What is that? That's the corner. That's where the whores are. In la esquina. At the head of every way, right? At the head of every way, that's the corner, and that's where the whores live. So you set up on a corner. You set up on a corner so you can sell yourself. So you can let everyone know that you're there for sale. Continue.
And makest thine high place in every street.
We get that, right? In every street, calle, in la calle, that's the street, all right? You make your high place the high place on the street, la esquina, right? That's the corner of the street. That's where whores are. Continue.
Kawakan. It has not been as an harlot.
And you have not been as a harlot. Keep going.
In that thou scornest hire.
In that thou does what?
In that thou scornest hire.
Keep going.
Verse 32. But as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband.
Meaning you sit up at the block just like a whore on the corner. But you're unlike a whore because you scorn hire. Meaning even a whore will work for the money. Not you. Like you're like a whore that won't get in those cars and perform that oral sex and do 50 heads a night. Being a whore is too much work for you. So you're not like a whore in that way. You set up on the street corner like a whore. You put yourself out there waiting for someone to offer you money, but you don't whore yourself like a whore. You whore yourself like a wife who has a husband who wants to cheat on her husband. That's how you whore yourself. Because even a whore is willing to work, but not you. How is that? I want you to examine something called the Christian church, right? The Christian church is a place where they expect to be with God, not to be whores on the street selling themselves. They have to work for that. They expect to be saved by God, saved by the blood of Jesus, to go to church and for everyone to acknowledge them as the people of Jesus Christ. And they expect to still betray that God that they worship every Sunday. And then they call that betrayal Christianity. They call the betrayal of God, well, I'm a Christian, so I don't keep the law because I'm a Christian. So I'm with God. I'm married to him. I'm God's woman. I'm God's wife. I'm with God, but I disobey him and I cheat on him as part of my duty as a wife. That's the Christian church. Like, you whore yourself not like a whore. That's too much work for you. You whore yourself like a woman who wants to have her husband and still have other men. That's how you live your life in the Christian church. This precept is about blacks and Latinos. This is about us. Why? Because this is the source of every captivity, not the intelligence of our oppressor, not his military might, not his resources, not his great intellect, but because God does not protect us in the time of trouble, because we behave like whores for every nation that can offer us pleasure. Continue.
Yes, sir. Verse 33. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers.
Here's how you're different from a whore. You sell yourself. Of course, you're for sale like a whore. But a whore gets something for it. You understand? A whore whores herself, and she gets the money. You whore yourself and give the what's the cat called? You give the John or the customer everything you have. And that is a crazy way to even be a whore. Blacks and Latinos are whores, and we give everything we have to the people that screw us. That's the difference. Everything we have, we give to them. Keep going.
Yes, sir. And hirest them that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom.
Go ahead.
Verse 34. And the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredoms.
Meaning every whore sells herself so that people will come from all around and give her money. A whore at least gets something. She gets something for being a slut. What have you gotten, blacks and Latinos? You whore yourself and get nothing for it. Here we are again. You're going to celebrate Christmas. Here we are. Here we are again with all of the complaining and the marching and the Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is an obvious despot. He's an oppressor. He's a tyrant. And you absolutely know it. And you are still going to celebrate Christmas. You're still going to do it. A whore would get something for being a whore. She'd get paid something. You're a whore and you get nothing. Continue.
Whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredoms.
Whereas none follow you to commit whoredoms. Go ahead.
And that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee.
I think I just broke that down. And that you give the reward and you get nothing. You get nothing for Christmas. Gracias. No gracias. No bueno gracias. You get bueno. How do you say that again? 1 second. How do I say it? No gracias bueno. Oh, I forget. Everybody understands, all right? You get nothing for being a whore. Nothing at all. Keep going.
Therefore thou art contrary.
Therefore, you're different than other whores. Keep going.
35. Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of the Lord. Verse 36. Thus saith the Lord God, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms with thy lovers, and with all the idols of thy abominations, and by the blood of thy children, which thou didst give unto them.
And by the what?
And by the blood of thy children, which thou didst give unto them.
You see, your whoredom was poured out, meaning everyone sees it. Everyone sees that you're a whore. Everyone. And I think about what we had to suffer here because all of your leaders in the past had to be whores. Today, Donald Trump, let me tell you about two things that Donald Trump did. That as I hear him do it, I go, man, my people truly have been whores here. I have always heard that all men are created equal. I mean, they drill that in your head in school. Donald Trump came out on the news and said that black people in Florida and New York and Chicago, he said they're born bad. He said that. Donald Trump said, well, these kids, in Chicago, you can't fix them. They're born bad. They're born bad. Donald Trump said this, there was no outrage. No one cared. No one thought that was un-American. They think Donald Trump is patriotic. Meanwhile, my entire life, I have to hear that I should love this country because all men are created equal. Donald Trump said in Chicago, the kids are born bad. And it was absolutely accepted. And yet I have to be called a racist because I'm in the Israelite school of UPK under Commanding General YAHANNA, and I fight for the oppressed of this world. But I'm the racist and I'm in the cult. Donald Trump is able to not even believe in the Constitution. He doesn't even believe that all men are created equal. He believes that the young kids in Chicago are born bad. And no, there was no outrage about it because your entire life, your preachers and your politicians have treated you like the whore. You're the one that has to give up self-respect. You're the one that has to see the best in white people, even though they destroy you every day. Please. That's different than I think the Mexican Spanish. Gracias por you better check with Yashikar about that. That don't sound right. All right. Estoy bien, gracias. That's what I wanted to say. Estoy bien, gracias, which would mean I'm fine, I'm good, but thank you. Estoy bien, gracias. Salakia. Estoy bien, gracias. All right, I'm good to go. Clap it up. All right. No problem. Go ahead. Please. Oh, go ahead. I'm ready.
Yes, sir. This is from Trooper Tab Ya'ala, I.S.U.P.K. Slaki Adawan, if I may, sir, get a breakdown on 2nd Maccabees, chapter 15, verse 36 and 37. Baba Kashaw.
No problem.
Is it a feast day, high holy day, or memorial day in the destruction of Nicanor? Shalom, Lord in Christ, sir.
Is it a feast day? This sounds vaguely familiar. Let me hear it.
Yes, sir. This is the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 15 and verse 36. And they ordained all with a common decree in no case to let that day pass without solemnity, but to celebrate the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the Syrian tongue and is called Adar, the day before Mardiosha's day. Verse 37. Thus went it with Nicanor. And from that time forth, the Hebrews had the city in their power, and here will I make an end.
I think I remember this one. This was not a high holy day. This was not a national day of remembrance like a Hanukkah. This was a day that everyone would celebrate in this city, and it was not a high holy day that continued past other captivities. I'll compare this to one day that we have in America, Juneteenth. Juneteenth, until about 3 years ago, I've never heard of Juneteenth. When I was in the truth back in 1995, I had never heard of Juneteenth. I didn't hear of Juneteenth, my God, until 2000 something. Because I'm from the East Coast, and in the East Coast, we did not celebrate the Juneteenth. But they did celebrate Juneteenth in Texas and different Midwest cities. So Juneteenth was like a regional day of remembrance, but it was not something that God commanded us to do. This particular day that everyone would celebrate was in this city. It was regional. It was similar to Juneteenth. Great Britain has a few days like that. Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo is another one when Mexico got free from the Spaniards. Of course, growing up, if you're not from Mexico, you might have never, ever celebrated Cinco de Mayo. But of course, people from Mexico grew up celebrating this day when they were free from Spanish rule in Mexico. It's not a high holy day. It's not a day, a national day that God wants you to remember. It's not from the Bible. It's a regional day that Israelites did at one time. That's what this day is. It's just like Cinco de Mayo or Juneteenth. All right. Good to go. Next.
Yes, sir. This is from Michael Wilson. Shalom, General. Can I get a breakdown of Titus chapter 1 and verse 14? This is the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 14. Not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth.
That's it.
That's it, sir.
Let me go 2 verses above it.
Yes, sir. Verse 12. One of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said, the Cretians are always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies. Verse 13. This witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply.
I need to catch up with you out. 1 second.
sir.
Where are you at?
Titus chapter 1, and the question is in verse 14, but you told me to jump up to 12.
Stand by.
Yes, sir.
Titus 1, and he wanted 13.
He wanted 14.
He wanted 14. Stand by. Okay, this is a good all the way up to, on this topic, I probably would. He wanted 14, right?
Yes.
Let's start at 10. Go ahead.
This is the book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision.
Especially they of what?
Of the circumcision.
They of the circumcision were speaking about the religious, orthodoxy in Judea. They were of the circumcision, meaning they didn't come from sinners. They weren't the children that were born by sinners. They were of the circumcision, which meant that your mother and father did the right thing your entire life. It's like being born in the church. If you were circumcised 8 days old and now you're a grown man, your mother and father were in that temple, always in there, keeping the law, at least in everyone's eyesight, doing all of the laws that people could see. So you showed up to the temple 8 days old, got your son circumcised. You were like the Christians that are born in the church today, grew up in the church, know everything about God, consider the authority on God. Well, guess what? There are many vain talkers, and what else?
Yes, sir. And deceivers.
And deceivers. Why are they vain talkers? Because they're self-righteous. That's what Christians are today. So they talk so vain. Well, I'm the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King. What are you doing this weekend? Having sex with prostitutes in the hotel. Having an orgy. But I am the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King. What you doing? What you do last night? Have sex with 3 white women and 2 men in a hotel. But I am the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King, Holy Ghost filled and sanctified upon Calvary's cross. I need to leave because there's 2 little boys waiting for me in the back room. You die. Microphone, Salaki. Please, Cooper.
If I could say,
Please. Go ahead.
if I could say, what you're saying is just so heavy. The first thing I thought about is, I'm the good minister T.D. Jakes. What you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm
Exactly.
going to Puffy house.
Going to Puff Daddy house. The good minister T.D.J. Oh, they so vain. Oh my God. All of the money and the self-righteous garbage and a ton of sermons just built to get women's minds all emotional and souped up and to make women self-righteous so they can empty out their purses into that church. It's a place full of people that are full of vanity. People that are about nothing and talk about nothing, that think there's something. That's the religious orthodoxy in the past, who were called the circumcision, and that's the leaders of the Christian church today, all right? And they are deceivers. They're liars. They lie about every goddamn thing. A Christian is lying all the time, gracias. Estoy bien, gracias. A Christian is lying all the time, no matter what, constantly lying. And why do Christians out there call in? Let me ask you a question, because I've been wanting to ask a Christian this question for years. You know that lying voice? A Christian has like a voice that they all have, and it's like a lying voice. It's like this. And some things, and I know that God and the saints of God. It's like they put an S on it, on everything they say. And when they're talking, I'm thinking, this is the lyingest nigga in the world ever. Well, you know what's, and when God gives you a blessing, and when Jesus, what is all that? And all of them talk like it. You can just watch any Christian talk, and he begins to talk. And when he begins to talk, he knows that God's and the Holy Jesus. And when God gives you something, what are you Christians doing listening to this hustler every day? This liar. I looked up liar in Spanish. Un momento. I looked up liar in Spanish, anticipating, speaking about Christians. Where is it at? Here it is. Nentiroso. Pinche nentiroso. That's every Christian. Pinche nentiroso. A liar, a damn liar. All they ever do is lie. And God, they put air under every goddamn word and an S under every word. You women sit up in church and go, boy, that's the Holy Spirit. And you hear it so much that almost like when you hear it, you go, that's the Holy Spirit. That's God talking. He's a liar. And he's learned how to lie like somebody that works at a carnival and fools suckers into hitting something to get a big teddy bear. Continue.
Yes, sir.
Especially they of the circumcision. Verse 11. Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not.
Your mouth must be stopped. Your mouth has got to be stopped. You lie too much. The Israelite School of UPK under commanding General YAHANNA, our business is stopping lying mouths out of the Christians, brother. We stop that mouth. We know how to do it. And we don't do it with violence. We don't do it with terrorist attacks. We do it with the word of God. With the foolishness of preaching, you can shut up these lying Christians. You can shut their mouths up. They're so arrogant and they're so proud. And they're so above everything. You can shut their mouth up with the truth. Continue.
For filthy lucre's sake.
For what?
For filthy lucre's sake.
You know what filthy lucre is, man? It's money, gotten by wickedness. That's what filthy lucre is, and that's the whole basis of the lying and the vain talk. What verse am I at now?
You have verse 12.
His question is 14.
Yes, sir.
Keep going.
Verse 12. One of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said.
So this is a prophet of the circumcision, of the religious, leadership of Jerusalem. Keep going.
Said, the Cretans are always liars.
He says what?
The Cretans are always liars.
He says that the Cretans are always liars. Keep going.
Evil beasts.
Evil beasts. Keep going.
Slow bellies.
Slow bellies. Now, why does this matter? Because this is one of the circumcision. And Paul is out in Crete trying to change these brothers to let them know that they're the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So although they were not circumcised on the 8th day, their mother and father were sinners. But Paul is coming to find them, to bring them back into the commonwealth of Israel, because that is their birthright. But the people of the circumcisions, they don't believe that they should have the right to come back. Why? Because they're from Crete, and the Crete are liars. All of the Cretans are liars. They're born bad. Those young YNs out there with the mask on their face and their pants sagging. They're just evil, and they're nothing but liars, and they're slow bellies. Slow bellies means like they're stupid. They can't think. They're slow bellies. It's like comparing you to an ox. Like an ox has 4 stomachs, and an ox has to chew the cud. So that's what slow belly meant. It meant you were stupid. And so these brothers that you're trying to change, who come from Crete, they're people who have slow bellies and stupid, and all they ever do was lie. Also, I told a brother last week to put an envelope on his table that is not here. Just grab that. Somebody else can get it for you. Go ahead. Please. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Verse 13. This witness is true.
This witness is true. You're right. Keep going.
Wherefore rebuke them sharply,
Wherefore rebuke them sharply. Keep going.
that they may be sound in the faith.
That they may be sound in the faith. Meaning you're right about the Christians. So when they come up in here, rebuke them, check them, so that they can be sound in the faith. Because I'm bringing the Christians into the school. They're coming in here. They're coming into school. So when they get in here, make sure you check them. Make sure you chastise them. They'll be one west. They'll be in the school. So now you can check them. You can chastise them so that they can be sound in the faith, because they're coming into the school. And if you let these Christians have their way, there would be no brothers from the streets in the Christian church. None. They hate us. They cannot stand us. Gracias. They cannot stand brothers from the streets up. They hate you. The IUIC, they act the exact same way. You can tell the IUIC, the purple pigs, cerdos morados, they hate brothers from the streets. They can't stand. If you don't have a job, you're a piece of garbage in the IUIC. You are filth if you do not have a job. The Christians, if you do not have a job, you are a piece of garbage. You're nothing. If you're some brother that came out of jail, you're nothing. If you're some brother that has more than one woman, you're just filth. And these Christians, they cause people to lose their lives because of their doctrine of thinking that they're better than everyone else. Some brother from Michigan, a football coach. And he's a football coach. He's making $15 million a year, something like that. He went out. He already is married to a white woman. He went out and got another white woman. After he got this white woman, he went and tried to kill the white woman, the second white woman, for revealing his secret. And then tried to kill himself. And now he's in jail. Why? Because the worst possible thing in the world that he could do is have another woman. Is have 2 women. That's the Christian church. The Christian church almost made him kill those women and kill himself. Because instead of just saying, yeah, all right, I got this woman, now I got another one. I got 2 of them now. That's what I have. Hey, Michigan, I have 2 women now. What's the problem? If I was gay, you couldn't fire me. Do you think if that black man that was a football coach at Michigan, do you think if he came up one day and said, I'm gay, do you think they would have fired him? Never. They would have never fired him if he said, I'm gay. I'm a gay man. They would have said, well, we have to love you no matter what, and we support you because love, you didn't choose to be gay. I didn't choose to want to have sex with so many women either. God made me like this. I'm born like this. I need to have sex with more than one woman, and I was born this way. God put me in a body of a man who wants multiple women. I'm born inside this kind of body. I'm in this body. That brother couldn't just keep both of those women. He had to go out and please don't tell. Please don't tell. If you tell, I'll kill you. And I'll kill myself. Now he's sitting up in jail forever because of Christian lies, because of the lies of the Christian church. And there are a lot of men who have killed themselves because some woman said that they're going to tell their wife. They kill themselves over it. They do it Christmas time every year. They do it around Christmas time every year. Every year they're begging some whore, don't tell her, don't tell her, don't tell her. And then they kill that woman because they would rather risk going to jail for the rest of their life than to be known as a man with more than one woman. That's from the Christian church. That's from you hypocrites who are so perfect, who could never believe in polygamy, never have a more than one woman. The person who is chastising you over having more than one woman, he has sex with prostitutes, and some of them are boys. That same person. A lot of you brothers, I hear about you arguing on the internet with people over polygamy. Arguing all the time. You are arguing with someone who buys prostitutes. You're arguing with them. That's who you're battling. You're arguing with a child molester. That Tazariak showed me a video of that idiot Polite back in the day. Went to those homos GMS. Went to GMS and said, you brothers, some of you are fathers. And would you let a man have sex with your daughter? A lot of you are fathers out there. Would you let some man have sex with your daughter? That man is in jail for having sex with someone's child. That's who you're battling. You're battling for someone so righteous, so perfect, so self-righteous, and so vain. And he is doing 10 times the worst thing that he's trying to convict you over. That's you of the circumcision. That's you of the Christian church. That's you perfect day one Christians who are committing the worst sins on the planet. Continue.
Yes, sir. Verse 14. Not giving heed to Jewish fables.
Not giving heed to what?
To Jewish
Here
fables.
we go again. What are some Jewish fables? Santa Claus. Santa Claus is false. It's not real. It's fake. It's a tool to sell toys. You know what Santa Claus is? Ronald McDonald. Y'all might be too young to know what that is. But when I was a kid, they had something called Ronald McDonald. Oh, he was like the clown from It. And I couldn't stand him as a child. He was disgusting. And Ronald McDonald danced around and he gave you a happy meal. And brother, you damn near would, push your mother into going to McDonald's. You had to get in there. You must go to McDonald's because of that clown and the toys. Well, that's what Santa Claus is. Santa Claus is just a marketing scheme to get you to go to Target and Toys R Us if you still have that, or to get you to go buy toys. It's not real. And the story is so beautiful and so sweet and so sentimental and such a lie of religious people who just want to get your filthy lucre, who want to take all of your money. And you know what? That's why children have parents, to protect them from predators. You're supposed to protect your child from people that try to seduce him with clowns and with marketing schemes. Instead of protecting your child from Santa Claus, you give your child to Santa Claus. You give it to him, and you sacrifice your children to that lie. Continue.
And commandments of men.
And the commandments of God?
Of men.
Of God?
Of men.
Men say you can't have more than one woman. So now when you're a Michigan, University of Michigan football coach, you have to kill the other woman. You have to kill her and kill yourself. What other choice do you have? Because you've been told that you cannot just have two women. So you have to lose everything. Why not just tell them you had sex with her? That's it. And meanwhile, you got some slut blackmailing you over, I'll tell your wife. I'll tell your wife. So now what are you going to give her? She blackmails you for years. I'll tell your wife. You better not tell. Bitch, I'll kill you if you tell my wife. And then you go out and try to do it. Just have more than one woman. And when they complain, tell them you were born like that. Just say, listen, I was born like this. I hear you. I was born like this. I see a woman, I examine her, and I get her. And I have sex with her for the rest of her life. Because I was born like that. Continue.
That turn from the truth.
That did what?
That turn from the truth.
Why? Because the basis of the circumcision is what? The law. The prophets. That's the basis of it. But so many years ago, they turned from the law of Moses. They turned from the good works of the prophets and what the prophets wanted. And now they've created some religion that is simply the pursuit of money. And it is nothing else. That's what the men of the circumcision did. And that's what the Christian church has done. Continue. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. This is from Drop City.
Say again.
Drop City.
Drop City, you're up.
Can you explain Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 through 9,
Absolutely.
and how it contrasts the book of James?
Contrast.
Yes, sir.
You might need to be more specific about the book of James, but I'll read it now.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 2 and verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves.
Mhm.
It is the gift of God.
Mhm.
Verse 9. Not of works, lest any man should boast.
Okay, now what about explain James to me? I don't know. I don't understand what he's talking about. Whenever you're ready, just tell me about James, all right?
Yes, sir. He didn't respond yet, sir.
All right, let me just break this down for you then. Let me hold up. I gotta find something. I'm getting a text message. Hold on. Bobbity, 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 bobbity. Stand by. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir. Oh, you agree again, sir?
Yeah, please, go.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry. This is the book of Ephesians, the 2 and verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith,
Mhm.
and that not of yourselves.
All right, through grace are you saved through faith. Now, it seems like the problem. What's his name again? Drop City.
Yes, sir.
Drop City, because you didn't answer the question about what discrepancy you think this has with James, I'll just have to assume then that you believe that this scripture is telling you that you can eat pork, you can eat shrimp, you can molest children, you can rape women, you can steal, you can lie, and you should continue to keep doing those things because you're saved through grace. And so I'll just ask you, do you believe you can molest children if you see fit? Just let Drop City tell me that, just so I can understand this question. Or raping women. Do you believe you can rape women? Do you believe that you can molest children? Are you currently molesting a child? Drop City. Just tell me that first, and then I'll break the question down for you, all right? Next, próximo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next question is Salakia. Yes, sir. Yes. Shalom, General. This is from El Yahai Leah. Shalom, Shalom, General.
Shalom, warrior.
Is Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1, verses 8 through, as well as verses 8 through 10, a precept to Acts chapter 10, Peter's vision.
Is Deuteronomy 8 and what?
Is Deuteronomy chapter 13, verses 1 / verses 8 through 10,
Okay.
a precept to Acts chapter 10?
Okay, let me hear the Deuteronomy one.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13, and verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or dreamer of dreams, and give thee a sign or a wonder, and I'm going to drop to verse 8. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor
For
hearken.
time's sake, this is a Martin Luther King precept. Always has been in the UPK since 1969. This is a Martin Luther King precept. It also should teach Christians who would follow after Martin Luther King that you should stop believing that God is talking to you all the time. God is not talking to you. You're ignorant and stupid, and God does not know who you are. You're a sinner. And every dream and thought that you have in your stupid head is not supernatural communication. You know why you think that? Because of the vain talkers you've learned from your whole life. You think every thought, hold up, Jesus is guiding me to say something right now. Hold up, the Lord is moving upon me right now to say some things. Every thought in your head you think is from God. Christian, you ever just, like, instead of saying God told me something, why don't you just say I'm thinking about something? Why don't you just say I thought this or I changed my mind? You see, I was saying this, but then God moved upon me to show me something. Everything you do is supernatural. Everything you do is amazing. Every thought you have is some supernatural communication with God, because you are vain and stupid. Well, you know who was like that? Martin Luther King. He had a dream. He had a dream that was so amazing. It was so wonderful. He was having sex with white women and having orgies that night that he made that dream. That night. Turns out God wasn't talking to him at all. And then he died in his sin. That's what that precept is about. Now, give me the one in Acts.
Sir.
Okay, you got to give me more than that. I don't understand without you telling me something else. All right. Okay. He just said chapter 10. I believe that's the Cornelius chapter, right? I don't quite understand the question, so I'll have to move on unless you can explain. All right. You got it.
I go to the next question, sir.
Please.
Yes, sir.
What about the brother that asked the question, Drop City?
Drop City? Let me see. No response yet, sir.
All right. I was trying to break down grace, what grace is for you, Drop City. You got to answer my question. Do you believe this precept means that Jesus died for you so you are allowed to molest children? And are you currently molesting any children? Just tell me. That's all. Remember, if you believe the grace, that we under grace and not the law, then you're allowed to molest children. So just give me your name and the child you're molesting. That's it. And then I'll break down grace for you, no problem. All right? Go ahead. Next.
Yes, sir. This is from Athanyala. Yes, sir. Salaki General, if I may, with your grace,
Please.
get an understanding on how me as a young officer, how I am able to understand the spirit of things.
You as a young officer, how are you able to understand the spirit of a thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am not the best one to answer that question, because I am not spiritual. I'm not spiritual at all. But there are men in the UPK that are absolutely spiritual. I am not spiritual. So I cannot help you with being more spiritual. I can help you with following orders, because that's what I do. And when I was a young officer, I obeyed. I followed orders. If I was told to clean the toilets, and if I took up the job of being the caretaker, I cleaned that toilet down on my hands and knees, and I examined it and looked at it before I left. When I was in security, I did security as if my life depended on it. I just took up a task and I gave it maximum effort. That's what I did. Now that I can help you with, because that I know. But as far as being spiritual, there are brothers in the school that are spiritual. I am not. So I cannot help you with that. All right. I lean on them. When it comes to spiritual matters, I lean on a brother who is spiritual. I don't examine it or care about it anyway. All right. Next. Próximo.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. This is from Claudia Calderon. How can you explain to your friends about being an Israelite without them getting upset?
Well, how do your friends explain being a Christian to you without you getting upset? That's what you want to think about first, okay? There is no way for you to be in the truth without persecution. It comes with it. It's part of it, right? If you expect to be in the truth and to not have persecution, then, of course, you're not going to be in the truth, because you're going to do the thing that pleases your friends. Your friends are going to be absolutely pleased if you can sleep with other men who are not your husband. They'll be pleased with that. If you become a lesbian, your friend, you won't need to explain that to your friends. Your friends will love it. If you become some lesbian or some girl that acts like a boy, your friends will love it. If you become gay, your friends will love it, right? But when you become a woman of God, now you have to say, well, how can I not make them mad by me becoming a woman of God? Why aren't they making you mad by being in the world? The Bible says that you are unevenly yoked with sinners. That's what that precept is talking about. They're pulling you, but you're not pulling them. What you should focus on, sisters, being in the truth. Being in the truth and being loyal. Having something amazing in you, which is loyalty to God. Then now God forgives you for your past. Now you have grace for what you've done in the past. Now you have grace for what you've done in the past because you live a life nothing like that in the future. Young brother, what's your name? Give him the microphone. Clap it up for the party. Let me hear you say it. Say, my name is Kaparium.
My name's Kaparium.
What do you want to say, warrior?
I just wanted to, what does persecution mean?
Excellent question. Give him a hand. Kaparium. Persecution is this. How old are you? Are you in school yet? How old are you? 7. So soon you'll be 10, you'll be 9, you'll be 11 years old. And let's say you go to school and people tell you that they want you to smoke. Have you ever seen people smoke before? Smoke cigarettes, smoke drugs. And what if they say, I want you to smoke, Kaparium? And you will say what? No. And then they'll say, you're stupid. You should smoke. I'm not going to be your friend unless you smoke. I'm not going to play with you. I'm not going to let you play with my video games unless you smoke. And then you'll feel what? You'll start to feel bad because you want to have friends. You want them to like you. That's persecution. When people are mean to you because you're doing the right thing, but they treat you mean because you want to do the right thing. When if they were your real friends, they would like you when you do the right thing. Well, there are so many adults that because they want to have friends and because they want people to like them, they do very bad things. So when you're in the truth and someone says, Kaparium, I want you to smoke, and you say no, and then they say, well, I don't want to be your friend. You have to say, I don't want to be your friend because you smoke. You see the difference? Now, what's the difference? So one little boy, somebody says, I don't want to be your friend unless you smoke. And that little boy feels sad. Then there's another little boy. And they say, Kaparium, I don't want to be your friend because you don't smoke. And then you should say what? Give him a hand and come get some money. Well said. I don't want to be your friend either. And then guess what God will do? He'll give you friends that don't smoke. That's what he'll do. Right here in the Israelite school of UPK. Fine. Well done. Let me give you a few more because you're on the right path. You're doing what's right. Good job. Well done, brother. Good job. Now, let me ask another question. Give him the microphone. This is your other young brother right here. Now, what's your name?
Kabad.
Give him a hand. Come on up here, Kabad. His name is Kabad. Give Kabad a Kabash. I always say it. He knows his name. Kabash. Come on up here. Kabash. He's tired. Good job. He earned some money. Come on up. You said your name. You said your name is Kabash. Kabash. You said your name is Kabash. Good job. Take some money. There you go. Get some sleep. Good job. All right. Most High in Christ. With that said, I think I got to roll, right? Was that it? Say your name again, warrior. Say it again. With that, pass the class over to Priest Officer Quarters up.
All right, this is I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K side of 1 West on 25th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander Jenny YAHANNA, rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. At the 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment, Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, by I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Get the Treasury Department. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, non-mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We are in the Feast of Dedications. And it started yesterday. And it's the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. So December 14th for 8 days. You want to read up on it? Go to 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 and read down to 61. Remind Akim, welcome to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf, with that, a modrum, just the brothers. Israel, modrum, Shabbat. Mod, rock. Yeah, the sisters will courtesy salute. With Israel, Shabbat. Mod, rock. Yeah, the Lord, and the top, and down, that's dismissed.